Here are a few things that you can add to your hurricane kit to give it a much-needed upgrade. Portable power banks, solar chargers, solar-powered radios, and similar items. While you're at it, make sure you're stocked up on the regulars: battery-operated radio and flashlight, additional batteries, a comprehensive first aid kit, along with 2 weeks of medication. Be sure to add life vests for family members and a toolkit. There should be 1 gallon of water per day for each member of your family and non-perishable food. Be sure to secure important documents like banking and insurance information and government-issued identification. And pay close attention to the ZNS network for all your weather updates. If this seems like a lot, think of it as survival through preparation. This season, be weather smart, weather safe.
In Harper Island, North Eleuthera, I'm Charles Fisher. This is ZNS.
Coming up in the Bahamas tonight, the weekend edition, the government adds a new facility to its healthcare portfolio as upgrades begin at Princess Margaret Hospital's private medical ward. A new U.S. tariff is testing Bahamian exports, but the country's lucrative lobster industry remains a demand around the world. We look at the numbers behind the industry's continued success. And in sports, the Bahamas welcomes golfers from near and far. The Bahamas tonight, the weekend edition, starts now. Happy Sunday. Thanks for tuning in and welcome to the broadcast. A fire at the Georgetown Clinic in Exuma is under investigation tonight after flames damaged a section of the facility and a vehicle. The incident prompted Minister of Health and Wellness, Dr. Michael Jarvell, and his team to travel to Exuma to assess the damage and determine the impact on health services. Upon his return to Nassau this afternoon, Minister Jarvell provided ZNS News with an update on the situation.
Fortunately for us, there was very little damage, and on our complete assessment of the clinic, we realized that we are still up and running, and Dr. Swan and his team was there so that we can figure out the mitigation strategy on which section of the clinic will be operational while the remedial repairs take place. I'm pleased to report that there's an IDB loan facility that is available for the Exuma Clinic, and we had Veritas along with us who are making the assessment. And early this week, our consultants will be on the ground to do further assessments, particularly with the plumbing that has been an issue in the clinic for a while now.
Renovations now underway on the 14-bed private medical ward at the Princess Margaret Hospital, even as the government expands its healthcare network with the acquisition of the Public Hospitals Harborside facility. Public Hospitals Authority Managing Director Abinette Roll says while the 46-bed Harborside facility will provide urgent care, diagnostic, and other outpatient services, PMH's private medical ward will continue to serve surgical patients. Roll says together, the two facilities will give patients more choice in where they receive care and who provides it.
For them to come here post-surgery, you have to ensure that two things exist: an emergency room as well as an operating theater in the event that they have to return. So an augmentation and ensuring that the return on investment, but also the Bahamian people having another stream of operations. The PHA is developing the private medical that will be finished in a few weeks that has the ability to care for those patients as well, surgical. So you see, we will have the surgical as well as the medical patients. We also have the ability to be using the pool that is accredited and takes care of the nation. We also have the only NICU in country and in the region to be able to take care as well. And so the PHA is really moving to improve healthcare across the board.
Country's murder count has climbed after a 71-year-old man who was shot on Wilson Track Wednesday morning died in hospital Friday. The shooting happened just before 8 a.m. Police say the victim was leaving his home when a man driving a light purple vehicle pulled up, got out, and opened fire. The suspect then got back into the vehicle and sped north along Wilson Track toward Wolf Road. Investigations continue. Some men expected to be airlifted to Nassau after shooting and stabbing in Nicholstown, Andros early Sunday morning. Police say a 33-year-old man was shot in the pelvis just after 2:35 a.m. while standing outside a local business. He told officers an unknown man opened fire before fleeing. A second victim, 30 years old, suffered lacerations to his hand and upper body after trying to break up a fight outside the same business. Both men were treated at the local clinic and are expected to be airlifted to Nassau. Their conditions are unknown at this time. While foreign investment continues to drive economic activity, with the central bank renovations now underway, the central bank making sure that the systems are in place, and we have this report.
Bank's total purchases of foreign currency from the private sector rose at a robust pace of 17.8% to $4.6 billion in the first half of this year, far exceeding the 1.3% pace of expansion in 2025. Also, in line with increased demand for payments, mainly for imports of goods and services, total sales of foreign exchange to the private sector through the banking sector increased by 13.7% to $4.1 billion in the first half of 2026.
Now, that was Central Bank Governor John Roll, who says that the bank says those investments are creating construction jobs now, with long-term employment expected as the projects are completed and come on stream. Foreign investment continues to drive economic activity, and the Central Bank Governor John Roll notes that foreign exchange data shows a sharp increase in private sector capital inflows during the first half of 2026. Well, a new U.S. trade barrier isn't dampening the Bahamas' lucrative lobster industry, despite a 12.5% tariff on exports to the United States. Officials say global demand for Bahamian lobster remains strong, keeping the industry on solid ground. Leah Cooper has more.
The Bahamas lobster industry is proving it can weather the storm, even with the United States imposing a 12.5% tariff on Bahamian exports. Last year alone, the country shipped 5.8 million pounds of spiny lobster to international markets. That's the equivalent of about 11 million lobsters, according to the Department of Marine Resources Director, Dr. Lester Gittins. And while the U.S. remains by far the Bahamas' biggest customer, demand also came from several other international markets.
To Australia, there was 1.2% were exported. Then other countries like Dubai, Dubai and England, there was less than 1% each. France is another major purchaser. Last year there was at 16%. And Spain, it was less than 1% as well.
Other countries include Canada, Japan, and Hong Kong, which all export under 1%. Dr. Gittins, however, says the U.S. market has actually grown stronger. Since the 2024 open season, the share of Bahamian lobster headed to American buyers has jumped dramatically.
Our exports went up from just over 50% in 2024 to 80%. In 2025.
And despite the 12.5% tariff now in place, Dr. Gittins says international demand remains strong. In fact, countries continue to buy Bahamian, a sign of its reputation for quality.
And with all of these countries I've named, with the exception of Dubai, they all have major lobster and crustacean fisheries, but yet they have an interest in purchasing from the Bahamas. And it's the same in Florida. They have a significant spiny lobster fishery, but definitely they would be happy to purchase our lobsters as well.
Meanwhile, Bahamas ambassador to the United States, Wendell Jones, has written to U.S. Trade Representative Jennifer Thornton requesting an exemption from the additional 2.5% tariff that recently took effect. So far, there has been no response from U.S. officials. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Leah Cooper.
Well, there's more after this.
Here is the Disaster Risk Management Authority's official 2026 emergency shelter listing for the Northwest Bahamas for Abaco, Andros, the Berry Islands, Bimini, Grand Bahama, Eleuthera, and New Providence. Grand Bahama, Bethany Baptist Church, Hannah Hill, Church of God of Prophecy, Seagrave, Central Zion Baptist, Pinedale, Church of God of Prophecy, Pinedale, Bethel Baptist Church, Pinedale, New Mount Olivet Baptist Church, Holmes' Rock, 8 Mile Rock Gymnasium, 8 Mile Rock, Holmes' Rock Junior High School in Holmes' Rock, the Foster B. Pestina Hall, Christ the King, Special Needs Shelter, East Atlantic Drive, Central Church of God, Cole Road, First Baptist Church, Columbus Drive, Shiloh Seventh-day Adventist Church, Sandcombe Road, Evangeline Jervis Hurricane Shelter, Anita Doherty Drive, Beachway, and Gamber Drive, Revelation Apostolic International Church, Jobson Avenue, Calvary Temple Assembly of God, Clive Avenue, Bishop Michael Eldon School Auditorium, Anita Doherty Drive, formerly Beachway Drive, Church of God of Prophecy Community at Heart Tabernacle, reserved for Aftermath, Coral Road, Maurice Moore Primary School, Tor Cross Road and Sandcombe Drive, St. George's High School Gymnasium, Sunset Way.
Holiday weekends aren't just boosting local celebrations, they're also driving hotel occupancy across the Bahamas. With Bahamians traveling to regattas, homecomings, and festivals, domestic tourism is gaining momentum. Former Bahamas Hotel and Tourism Association President Robert Sandy Sands says that's a positive sign for the country's #1 industry.
While it's growing, there's no question in my mind that the perception of being an expensive destination still is a deterrent for the levels of Bahamians that travel to a number of family islands in large numbers. But I think the fact that there have been more and more event-driven and festivals-driven type events in multiple farmlands is helping to drive that domestic tourism number a little higher than it has been in the past.
Well, as the Bahamas observes National Family Week, a community leader is ensuring men remain part of the national conversation. President of International Men's Ministry, Apostle Henry Higgins, taking his message directly into communities, encouraging men to embrace stronger leadership, healthier families, and positive change.
We always want to make sure that the men who are the leaders in the nation are included in National Family Week. So tonight we've come to do a panel discussion in the community, in the outdoors, to speak to the community about the importance of men and fathers in strengthening families.
Higgins believes building stronger families starts with men taking responsibility and leading by example. He says men must rise to the occasion and reclaim their place as leaders.
It's important for us to understand that, first of all, God has called men to be the leaders in our nations. And so, first of all, one of our mandates is to make sure that men understand that, and that's why we're here. The way our country is going now with the crime, the violence, and all the other things that happen in our country, it's important that men step to the forefront and take their rightful position.
More than a celebration of culture, the Bahamas-China Friendship Association's annual calligraphy and wine evening held at the Margarita Beach Resort is investing in the next generation. The fundraiser supports the association's annual Flying Kite Festival, where underprivileged children spend the day outdoors learning to design and build traditional Chinese kites. Guests also experience the elegance of Chinese calligraphy, authentic cuisine, and cultural traditions, all aimed at strengthening the growing friendship between the Bahamas and China. Association President Dr. Donovan Moxie says the organization's goal is to make Chinese language and culture welcoming and accessible to everyone.
What it's done, it's really sort of made learning the Chinese language less intimidating. And so one of the things we do is make it fun, make it a very relaxed environment. And so one of the things that's very important to us as an organization is that Bahamians recognize and understand that it's okay to learn about new cultures. It's okay to be comfortable understanding cultural differences and really trying to learn from each other. And that's what we're doing.
Chinese ambassador to the Bahamas says cultural and educational exchanges continue to strengthen the relationship between the two nations by fostering greater understanding between their people.
This event, Calligraphy and Wine Festival, it has become, as I said, another brand activity of culture exchange. And culture exchange is all always, cultural exchange, educational exchange has always been one of the most important foundation for China-Bahamas relationship. Because as I said, you know, you get to know Chinese culture, you get to know China as a country through the Chinese language, through Chinese calligraphy, and with more understanding between our two peoples, you get a better friendship. And with when friendship grows, people actually benefit.
Sports is next.
I want to show you what paradise on earth really looks like. Imagine this. It's a hot summer day. You've been tanning all day. You just want a place to cool down. This 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom villa sleeps up to 6 people with a fully equipped kitchen and living room. And if you're looking for relaxation, look no further. Now the food, the pool, and the drinks are nice, but summer's coming up. Summer's coming up, and you need to get that body in check. Here at the Paradise Island Beach Club, they have a fully equipped 24-hour gym, ensuring that summer body is in check.
We went down to the beach for a little bit, very relaxing. Definitely gonna come back.
Always have a good time at the pool bar, always have a good time at the pool, and then, you know, to be able to walk down less than a minute walk to the beach is unbelievable.
Just like these drinks, life really is sweet at Paradise Island Beach Club.
Cheers to that.
Duo pizza from Little Caesars. Nobody has to chew. One half loaded with Parmesan, pepperoni, and Italian sausage. The other half topped with veggie seasoning, ham, and green peppers. Now that's a winning hand. The Duo pizza. Double the flavor for only $13 VAT inclusive. Only at Little Caesars Bahamas.
Now available at all 5 of our locations. Little Caesars Oaksfield, Carmichael Road, East Street Pineapple Plaza, Charles Saunders Highway, and 1 East Plaza. It's not madness, it's Little Caesars.
Pizza.
Everyone, welcome to your weekend sports edition. I'm Wayne Wilson. But starting it off, let's swing on over to the Royal Blue Golf Course to get a word with Richard Gibson Jr. before he tees off tomorrow morning for the Caribbean Amateur Golf Championship.
Yes. We actually have a pretty solid team this year. For the men, we have Devon Robinson, Alexander Rowland, myself, Nolan Johnson, Sebastian, and Linford Miller, the president for the Bahamas Golf Federation. It's a pretty diverse team, but I feel like this is a good team, whereas we do have a very good chance of winning the Herman Cup title and also probably carrying the overall title also. To be honest, like I said, it all depends on the wind, the weather. The weather is going to be the biggest X factor this week. If the weather is cooperative with everyone, the scores could be very low. If not, I'd say if teams dance around maybe 10 to 15 under, that could be the winning score.
Richard will be wrapping us in the Herman Cup for the championship. The last time we hosted the CAGC was 19 years ago. We also have the George Teal team competing in the women's division. Representing us is Haley Hall, Anissa Robinson, Madison Carroll, and Kamari Pratt. With so much action going on, we did get to speak with Moses Johnson, Vice President of the Bahamas Basketball Federation, on Team Bahamas men's national team's upcoming game against Panama on the 31st. As we advance in the FIBA World Cup qualifiers.
The team is looking pretty good. I think for the most part we'll be traveling, so it'll be a first travel game. We have a travel game on the 27th, I think it is, or 28th, and that will be in Uruguay. So we'll be traveling to Chile to have a friendly on the 22nd, and then traveling into Uruguay to play, and then we'll be returning to Nassau to play in Panama on the 31st. We may have a few changes in terms of the roster, but the philosophy stays the same, and we just look to be positive as we continue to trek through the second phase of the World Cup qualifiers. We're right there where we need to be that 7th team that will make the World Cup. So it will be very very important for us to win these games, because going into this last leg,
we'll be really, really counting on winning the games that we can win, because at the end of it all of the scores, all of the win-loss records will be tallied, and we'll be going up against others like Mexico's, the Chile's, and the Colombia's for that next team. So it's the top 3 in every pool, and then the next best team, and we're hoping to be that team.
But let's sail back on over to Exuma for day 3 of the Black Point Regatta with Charles Fisher.
The sails were down Sunday here in Black Point, Exuma, but exciting the underwater of sailing on Saturday. The ocean race from Staniel Key to the mainland saw Raging Bull taking it, Ashley B out of Andrews second, Lady Eunice third, coming in fourth was Chaser, and fifth went to H2O. They then hit the waters for the first series race on the C class, and boy, Lady Eunice pulling away with Raging Bull coming in second and Slaughter coming in third. Now the official opening ceremony also held on Saturday at Regatta site, and bringing the honors was the Minister of Youth and Sports with responsibilities for Regatta, the Honorable Mario Bowling.
At the Black Point Regatta, a celebration of shared passion for sailing and the remarkable community spirit that thrives here. Black Point is not just a picturesque place. It is a vibrant sailing community deeply rooted in a strong maritime heritage that we all hold dear. Together, we are not just preserving our traditions, we are launching a new generation of sailors poised to write the next chapter of our maritime story. I encourage everyone here to support our youth as they embark on this exciting journey, for they are the future of our beloved sailing community. Thank you, and let the regatta begin.
Monday is the final day of sailing. C and E class sloops each will race one, and then they'll handle the trophies at about 12 o'clock in the afternoon. For ZNetToll Sports in Black Point, Exuma, I'm Charles Fisher.
And that's all your sports action for today. I'm Wayne Wilson, ZNetToll Sports.
Introducing the Focal Smart Pass app that helps you to fuel up faster. Here's how it works. Download the app on the App Store or get it on Google Play and create your profile with payment details. Visit your nearest Shell station. Open the app, scan the pump's QR code, select your payment amount, and begin fueling. Say goodbye to cash and cards because the Focal Smart Pass offers secure and convenient payment options right at your fingertips. Download Focal Smart Pass now and fuel up faster today.
So how's your preparation going? By now, you should be completing home repairs since the last storm, updating and replenishing your emergency kit, and paying closer attention to the ZNS networks for earlier than normal developments in the tropics and general storm tracking. Hurricanes don't wait. Why should you? This season, be weather smart, weather safe.
Let's swim Bahamas, bring water hazards to an end.
Let's swim Bahamas. Water safety rule number 9. Do not dive into unknown waters.
Let's swim Bahamas, bring water hazards to an end. Water hazards to an end.
Here is the Disaster Risk Management Authority's official 2026 emergency shelter listing for the Central Bahamas for Cat Island, Exuma, Long Island, Rumkey, and San Salvador. Exuma: Bethel Union Baptist Church, Ramsey; Ebenezer Union Baptist Church, Farmers Hill; Ebenezer Union Baptist Church, Barry Terry; Exuma Resource Center, Special Needs Shelter, Hoopers Bay; Forbes Hill Cultural Center in Forbes Hill; Gethsemane Baptist Church, Black Point; Mount Hermon Union Baptist Church, Mount Thompson; St. John's the Baptist Anglican Church, Mossstown; Aurelia Miller Comprehensive School, Black Point; St. Luke's Union Baptist Church, Black Point; the new Mount Olive Union Baptist Church, Hartswell; Mount Olivet Baptist Church, Staniel Key; Palestine Union Baptist Church, The Forest; St. Andrew's Community Center, Georgetown, St. Margaret's Anglican Church, Hart, Steventon, St. Mary's Magdalene Anglican Church, Williamstown, St. Teresa's Roman Catholic Church, Georgetown, St. Margaret Mission Baptist Church, Stewart Manor, Ebenezer Union Baptist Church, Rollville.
Time now for a check on tonight's weather forecast. Chief Meteorologist Basil Dane joins us. Good evening, Basil.
Good evening, Desmond. This evening we have lots of fireworks over the northwest Bahamas with clusters of thunderstorms over parts of the area, and that is in response to that old stalwart frontal boundary which has been just to the north of us for the past several days, and we expect that to remain in place for another 24 hours before gradually lifting towards the north, but then that will be replaced by a westward moving tropical wave. By the middle of the week, we'll see some reinforcement of these showers and thunderstorms in the northwestern parts of our country. Now, outside of our studios, we're under mostly cloudy skies, temperature at 89 degrees, the relative humidity at 66%, winds out of the south-southeast at 9 miles per hour, and your barometric pressure of 1,014.0 millibars. That's 29.94 inches. Temperatures around the islands: Marshall, Babico, 88 degrees, Great Torquay at 86. Freeport, Grand Bahama, where they're having some very heavy showers and thunderstorms, have a temperature of 77 degrees. 87 in the Berry Islands, Allenstown, Bimini at 84. 87 in Harbor Island, Rock, Sandy, Lucia, 89 degrees. Also in Otterstown, Canal, they have 89 degrees there as well. Black Point, Exuma, Camp Space, Los Angeles, 91, 90 degrees in Fresh Creek, Central Angeles, another 90 in Georgetown, Exuma. Rum Key, Anson, Salvador, 89 degrees, taking you further south into Ragged Island, Clarence-Town, and Crooked Island. They're all at 91, 90 degrees in Acklands and Betsy Bay, Maguana. Matthew, Tyninago at 85, and the Turks and Caicos Islands at 88 degrees. Boating forecast tonight through tomorrow in the northwestern islands, that persistent southerly flow will continue at 10 to 15 knots, and those winds will be falling light and variable at times, but locally high in meadow showers and thunderstorms. Wave heights 2 to 4 feet. High tide at 11:14 tonight. The second high tide at 11:01 tomorrow morning. Now for the Central Islands, we're going to have a southeast component at 10 to 15 knots. The wave heights 2 to 4 feet. And for the southeast bombers, winds east to southeast 12 to 18 knots. The wave heights 3 to 6 feet. So caution flags remain in place for boaters in the southeast bombers right through tomorrow. And then satellite pictures are showing lots of the wet stuff, lots of tropical moisture in the area, coupled with that stubborn, persistent trough to the north, which will continue to support those showers, as we told you already, for the next couple of days. Now, our forecast tonight, we're looking at some drenching thunderstorms this evening, then turning partly cloudy and very warm later on tonight, with the low temperature getting down to 81 degrees. And tomorrow, this is how things are going to shape up, a blend of sun and clouds with widely separated thunderstorms in the mix. High temperature is scorching 90 degrees tomorrow, and the extended weather forecast unfolding like this. We'll have those showers and thunderstorms lurking around through Monday. A lot better on Tuesday, but come Wednesday, as that tropical wave makes its way into the northwest Bahamas, we will see gray, cloudy skies with scattered showers and thunderstorms once again. But that quick moving trough will give way to mostly sunny conditions as we head into Thursday and Friday of next week. Desmond.
Thanks, Basil. That ends the Bahamas Tonight, the weekend edition. Thank you for continuing to make ZNS your first choice for news and information, as only the sun covers the Bahamas better than ZNS. On behalf of the entire weekend team, thanks for watching. Have a good night and a safe week.
Here are a few things that you can add to your hurricane kit to give it a much-needed upgrade. Portable power banks, solar chargers, solar-powered radios, and similar items. While you're at it, make sure you're stocked up on the regulars: battery-operated radio and flashlight, additional batteries, a comprehensive first aid kit, along with 2 weeks of medication. Be sure to add life vests for family members and a toolkit. There should be 1 gallon of water per day for each member of your family.